Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. Update: I-24 male was accused of sending nudes to a co-worker. Original post: let's call my co-worker Rachel. Over last few months, I've become good friends with her. She lives with her boyfriend, but we've been flirting with each other since past few weeks after we were paired for scavenger hunt during office retreat. Up until the office retreat, our only medium of communication, the app we use for teamwork, which is Slack. Two groups, one is for office chat, and the other group comprises of 20-something from work, more of an after-hours chat group to hang out together for drinks or dinner. Me and Rachel were just friends until our office retreat last month. We started having our own private Slack conversation, and then later continued our conversation on iMessage. Both agreed it would be risky to communicate to one another via office account. I did know about her boyfriend a week after our office retreat, but she was the one who brought it up and didn't mind me flirting with her and vice versa. She equally flirted back. Honestly, being single, it didn't occur to me then that I should have stopped messaging her after she dropped the "have boyfriend" message. We piqued our casual conversation by exchanging tens of messages every day. She did ask me if I would like to join her for drinks after work at this bar 2 blocks down the road, and I asked her if we could choose someplace else because I didn't want to be spotted with her by some co-worker, and we did go out. This was 2 weeks ago. We later went out on 5 other dates including 2 dinners, but I swear it was platonic. We termed our dates as an experience to try out new places. Oh, we haven't kissed or held hand or all those gestures. I agree we flirted back and forth, but then we become close friends. I took a week off to visit my family back home, and out of nowhere I was shocked to learn that she posted a screenshot of our iMessage thread late last evening. I was shocked to see that thread with my D-pic, which I haven't. I haven't sent her iMessage in last 2 days. Last message on my end reads "Merry Christmas" with Christmas tree emoji on Christmas Eve, and her replying back with a thanks and bunch of emojis. I'm quite certain that she photoshopped the remainder of that thread with "Me thinking about you." Me, some other guy's D-pic. And she posted that screenshot, along with caption "Nice guys." She hasn't even redacted my name. I've been trying to reach to her since last 10 hours, as this has been on Facebook all over. She hasn't replied to my calls or any further messages yet after the post. One of my co-workers called me and sent me that screenshot from his Facebook when he saw that post. Honestly, I don't understand why she has cooked up that story. I couldn't see the post because I was apparently blocked before she posted it. Seems like she has even blocked me on iMessage. I've received numerous messages on Facebook and texts. I couldn't sleep, and I've decided to go to cops in an hour. I've even sent out an email to our company's HR last night, explaining that it wasn't me who sent that pic, and attached screenshots on my end, as I thought this might escalate to HR sooner or later. I also sent Rachel email, trying to be as polite as I could as to why she posted that screenshot, which we both know wasn't something I did. What's stressing me out is the damage it has already done to my reputation by the people who have seen that post. I have asked a trusted coworker and friend to send me screenshot of comments to that post every often, since I can't view that post. Truly appreciate any inputs you guys might have. This was out of nowhere. What should I do moving forward besides contacting the cops? I worry that my word won't hold against hers. Can I ask cops or HR to personally vet her inbox and validate that against her post? Because I know that would prove my truth that I haven't sent that pic. Please help. Now for the top advice before reading the updates. My guess is boyfriend found out about you, and she is going nuclear to cover her butt. This is exactly what's going on. I'd be whipping my junk out to all of HR and the cops to prove I didn't do it, then I'd sue her for defamation and get her fired. Someone in legal advice said that contacting HR is a waste of time, but I disagree. Don't just report the situation, file an official complaint against her now. Be proactive AF. If this was legit, she should have filed an HR complaint, not broadcast it on Facebook. Be a step ahead of her on that one. Also, pull your current, real-time phone, text records to show that you didn't send her a message at the time that's shown or is being implied. You may need to get an official record, but that may help for now. Not sure what your Minnesota Police Department will do about a California resident and workplace matter, but get a lawyer as soon as possible. I completely agree. HR is useless, true, in the sense their loyalties lie with the company. However, filing an official complaint is documentation and creates paper trail of the events. Her boyfriend found out, and now she is trying to cover herself, and you are collateral damage. I would definitely press charges and maybe file a civil suit. Take this as a lesson to never start something with someone who is in a relationship, and you never defecate where you eat. This guy broke 2 major rules and you listed them both. Never get intimate with someone who is in a relationship. It never ends well and is morally screwed. If things do work out, would you really be confident in a relationship where your partner literally cheated on their ex to meet you? Don't date or bang where you work. This one is pretty freaking obvious. Keep your copy. You might be able to prove it isn't on your side, and it should at least obviously not be your junk. Depending on where you live, you'll have to sue for defamation. Get a lawyer first. Then go to the police with the aid of said lawyer. This woman is trying to end you. Yes, I'm gonna report it here in Minnesota and later again once I fly back to California. I don't know whose jurisdiction this might fall under, but that's the only thing I can do so far. The stress of knowing why she did that is killing me. And now for the updates. I was advised to file complaint in California since I live and work there. I'm gonna call a lawyer who happens to be my mom's cousin in California. It's very stressful to endure being accused of sending D-pic when you haven't. The embarrassment is driving me crazy. And load of messages in my inbox. I have this urge to reply each one of them explaining it wasn't me, but that might backfire. I don't know. Update 2. A lot has changed since Friday. Most stressful time of my life yet. I flew back to California Friday afternoon. Also hired myself a lawyer. Head of HR called early evening and said she wanted to sort this matter out beyond office hours. Rachel didn't show up at work Friday. She was supposed to be working through New Year, since very few personnel have been manning our work over the holidays. HR scheduled meeting at the executive conference room, which is 4 floors on top of our work area. She did advise me not to communicate with other co-workers till this matter is looked into by HR. I also informed her that I've hired a lawyer for any ramifications that might unfold from this incident. She assured me that they will be fair and try to mediate this matter as if I actually did send that pic. I rushed to office Saturday morning. Thank God it was weekend and holidays. I would have had a panic attack if I had to come to the office on a typical weekday. I was early by at least an hour. The conference room was filled with a senior executive, 2 other women, who seemed like junior-level HR personnel, and head of our HR. Rachel showed up right on time. Sorry for detailing, but I remember all of this like it just happened a minute ago. After an awkward start, I showed the HR my iMessage thread. Okay, Rachel was very defensive and she said something like, I was shocked and terrorized when I received that message, and she claimed she threw her phone in anger and her phone stopped working. She showed her phone with cracked screen. WTF. She also claimed that she didn't reply to my messages and shut out because of that unusable phone. But she didn't hesitate when the HR asked her to surrender her broken phone or hand it to our guy. Oh, I also asked if she can show our iMessage thread through iCloud, and she claims she doesn't use iCloud. 2 things: she owns an iPhone, iPad, and a MacBook. It's very unlikely that she doesn't use iCloud for messages. Moreover, if she claims her screen was broken, how the heck was I blocked? I know she had her read receipts turned on from our conversation history, but none of my past messages had any message read notifications. Anyhow, our IT guy dropped by, took a backup, and recovered on someone else's iPhone by afternoon. During this time, we took a break and decided to reconvene by afternoon. The IT guy came with restored phone, and guess what? Her message inbox was empty. She was also asked to log into her Apple account, and even then, her message inbox was still empty. She started panicking, saying that the phone drop might have broken some chip or something. Our IT guy checked her phone, as we were asked to sign a consent before turning our personal devices to company, and did something with work profile config or something. All her app data were intact except notes, contacts, and messages and photos. Our IT guy gave his conclusion that it was deliberately deleted. This was few hours ago. Okay, since all of this was recorded, not on camera, but documented by one of the junior HR personnel, our meeting was adjourned, and we had to turn our phones. Rachel was also asked to turn her MacBook and iPad, as the IT guy believed they can recover from her other devices. And oh, our IT guy called what he said was our in-house iOS expert, who devised work profiles for all Apple devices of employees, whether company issues or BYOD. This was around 4. By 7 p.m., I received call from our HR where she said that they haven't been able to recover any messages from either of her Apple devices. She also affirmed that IT thinks those messages might have been deliberately deleted, but they cannot prove that for certain, something that's required by company bylaws to terminate her immediately. Another thing, I was told on Friday that I cannot sue any current employees, which means that her hit of terminate her immediately makes me wonder if they are gonna actually fire her. I also spoke with my lawyer, who is certain that they will let go of her, and then we can file a lawsuit of her own. Not sure what the future is going to hold for me, but all I'm looking forward to in the next few days is a legal obligation, wherein Rachel is forced to publicly apologize everywhere for accusing me of sending her nudes. I haven't spoken to her or able to determine the true intention for framing me into this. I'll be going to office late evening on Monday to talk to those IT guys and collect my phone back. I was cleared to collect my phone, not sure of Rachel. I might also ask them if they found anything that might be helpful, since at this point in time they are the only people besides Rachel that can see what's on her device. Still 2 unanswered questions: if she would be fired, so that we can file a lawsuit against her, and why the heck did she do it? Sorry, I saw so many comment notifications. I wasn't able to respond to all of those after flying back to California, and the ruckus in between. Would try to respond since it's gonna be Sunday soon. It's also interesting to know that IT guys don't have access to iMessages, even after having installed Work Profile. We had a 30-minute video explaining what Apple Work Profile is and how it works. Rachel's demeanor was as if she was victim of something. I'm really thankful to my co-workers, one of whom actually picked me up from the airport and helped me get some dinner, while this other co-worker talked me over to not do anything crazy that I might regret. To be honest, I was gonna send her a trashy email for having ruined my life, but I was reminded by a friend that it's gonna hit me back if this was to be scrutinized any further. Oh, I also intend to reply to Facebook messages once we can initiate the process to sue her. As to her reason for doing it, I'd bet you're not the only guy she's flirting with in messaging, but you're the one her boyfriend is aware of and concerned about. She's received a D-pic, he's seen it, and rather than say it was from someone else, she's pinned it on you, and he's insisted she do something about it. Anyway, don't contact her again. Especially if you're planning on suing her later, that's just going to make things messy, and she could accuse you of harassing her. It sounds like it's going to work out, hope it does for you. Also, take this as a lesson, OP. Don't flirt with women you work with, and keep any interaction with them strictly work-related. You got hella lucky this time. Well, on the plus side, you got to be in Cali and not Minnesota with the freezing rain. Glad things went your way. I lost my holidays though. Ignore her, cut all contact, and next time, don't flirt or hook up with people in a relationship, because surprise, surprise, they are trash people. I'm not even sure what the end game is for these people. So you've flirted with someone in a relationship, you've wooed them, and now they're banging you. Best case scenario for you, they dumped the person they cheated with for you. Congratulations, you're now in a relationship with someone you already know has no problem cheating. And they're in a relationship with someone who clearly doesn't think cheating is a huge deal anyway. This is just a recipe for disaster. I don't think I'm adult enough, as pointed out by someone in previous thread and even this other co-worker. It's always a stupid idea to be friends with someone who is in a relationship. Last story. My wife lied and told her kids that their father was dead. I exposed her lie and took them to see him. My wife got full custody of her kids, 4 female, 6 male and 9 female, after their dad got sick. She rarely let them see him or let the grandparents see them. It was like this for whole 8 months. Then their dad's health got worse and she just stopped taking them to see him. She claimed she was protecting them from being traumatized, but in my opinion, this is the time where they should have seen him the most. The latest stunt was finding out that she actually lied to them about him being dead. I was shocked and felt quite sick seeing the kids cry for days and looking depressed. I called her out on it, and she said it was the only way to get them to stop asking about him and not pressure her into taking them to see him in that state. I had the biggest fight with her over this, then I took the 3 of them and went to the hospital and called their aunt to take them to see their dad. All without my wife knowing. The kids reacted intensely, especially the oldest, and refused to see her after the lie she told. She had a psychotic breakdown and started yelling at me saying she has been trying so hard to navigate this awful situation, and I turned her own kids against her and demonized her when she only had their best interest at heart. She has moved out and is considering separation either temporary or permanent. I'm getting lots of blame for what I did, especially from her family. The kids' father's family are, however, appreciative of what I'd done, but said there will be a lawyer involved, so the issue got 10 times worse. I don't know if I did the right thing, but I feel like I messed up my life and my marriage. There's no coming back from this, especially knowing the court will get involved. Now for the top comments. You messed up your marriage, sure, but you acted in accordance with your morals, and it's ultimately your soon-to-be ex-wife who's unambiguously at fault here. I agree marriage is probably over, but you acted with your morals. My morals would be the same. Imagine being that child and being lied to that your parent is dead. It's wrong to me, and I think when those kids grow up they will be grateful that there was a real one like you around. For those kids, I think you did the right thing. The fact that she lied to them that he was dead, that's just unacceptable. If he recovers, you don't mention whether his condition is terminal or otherwise. Was your wife never going to explain that? Or if recovery is not possible, never going to give them and him a chance to say goodbye. What she did was based on her having her own best interests at heart, not theirs. Their best interests would be served by letting them see their father and look into therapeutic support to help them navigate these emotions, whereas she didn't want to deal with the situation and told a lie that made her life easier. And that lie will now cause more trauma, I'm sure. You are not to blame. And with your marriage over, would you want to stay married? Knowing that she can lie about something this serious to her children. What might she lie to you about if this is how she deals with things? She should be the one dealing with court consequences, not you. But thank you for helping those children and their father to meet. Thank you. Everyone jumped to this guy being at death's door, and that seeing him would be awful. We don't know if he's that bad. People waiting for organs, or with autoimmune diseases or cancer get sicker and then can recover. He could just be hospitalized because of chemotherapy side effects. My dad was, and the chemo was sending him into atrial fibrillation. For all we know, this was the way the ex was going to keep them from seeing their dad and his family permanently. We don't know what she would lie about to her ex. She could be telling him the kids don't want to see him, etc. It's hard to know, because the woman is willing to tell such an insane huge lie to make her life easier. Even if he was at death's door, his kids deserve to say goodbye. It happens all the time, and I'm sure the family would help make it less scary. You did the right thing. Your wife is the one who damaged her relationship with her children. These children deserve the right to spend as much time with their dad as they can, because there isn't that much time left. And their dad deserves to see them as much as he can. You are an empathetic, caring person who did the right thing, while knowing how your wife would probably react to what you did. The fact that she could blatantly lie to her own child with no remorse is massive red flag. Your marriage may very well be over, and if it is, you will have dodged a bullet.